Candidates, Brooklyn, we'll start with you. Just introduce yourself, say what you're into around campus briefly, and where you hang out during lunch.
All right, well, hi, I'm Brooklyn. Well, at lunch, I am in the student store almost every day with a few of my friends, and I'm trying to be the next student store manager, but yeah, I'm usually just in the student store. I think I'm gonna swim this year. I played soccer freshman year, but don't do that anymore, so yeah, that's it, basically.
Okay, I'm Maya Steinhardt. I'm a junior. I usually at lunch am either in Mr. Fisher's room or Granado's because all of my friends hang out there, and I'm currently just scraping by with a B in calculus, so I need to figure that one out. And then when I do have clubs, I'm heavily involved with Rainbow Coalition, the Rogue Science Club, so I'm all over it usually.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm a junior. I'm usually in CSO. I'm always in CSF on Mondays and usually in Awareness League on Tuesdays. And then for the rest of the time, I'm either on the field or in the classroom or usually in Science Squad. But I also just kind of like to wander around, kind of meeting people.
Great. Okay, so back to Brooklyn. What makes you, Brooklyn, the most qualified candidate for this position of vice president?
I feel like I'm really well-rounded. Like, I was in his freshman year, so I know like kind of how that all works, and now I'm in general ed, and I feel like I have a lot of opinions, which might not sit well with some people, but I feel like I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to like controversial topics, and yeah. I don't know, I feel like, sorry, I'm really nervous. I feel like I just am pretty like into a lot of different things at the school, and I feel like I could bring a lot to the student board, and that we could really improve ASB as a whole, and yeah. So.
Excellent. How about you, Maya?
So I have a long history in leadership, both within clubs in McClatchy and outside of McClatchy. Currently, I'm on the Women's March Sacramento Youth Committee. I've done work with the Sacramento LGBT Center. I was actually the recipient of the Sacramento Pride Youth Award this summer. So I can take my knowledge of the way other kind of non-for-profit and communities, organizations run and bring it to McClatchy so we can be more efficient than just a bunch of students in a room and actually model the way actual committees and actual non-for-profits organize to get things done.
So I've been in ASB since I was a freshman. I've been in leadership since I can remember. I'm a part of CASC, as Daisy said, the student council, and I'm also in 4-H. So I do a lot of leadership opportunities where I'm good at being a leader, and I'm kind of good. I'm very organized. I like to take control, but I also like to listen to everyone's ideas. And I have a lot of opinions, but I'm always open to hearing any ideas too.
Excellent answers, everybody. Okay, so for the next question, we're going to start with Rose this time. Rose, what is your vision for improving the ASB?
So I'm really into spirit. I am always trying to go to the Legion games. Legion was one of the clubs I joined. I don't really consider it a club, but I always want everyone to go to those. And on Spirit Days, I'm always dressed up in spirit. And one of my just big things is making sure everyone on campus is spirited, and it's not just ASB. And I just really want everyone to see the fun of the school and not just come here for just like you just think school is boring. I want it to be a fun place to come to. So just kind of keeping the hype up.
Okay. So in my opinion, ASB has a tendency to be very small task focused when we to sometimes look at a larger picture, and that larger picture comes down to two words: efficiency and accountability. We have a tendency to spend too much time on small things when we could be using that time in a larger way, getting actual school spirit up instead of just like, hey, let's make a poster. Maybe we come up with some long-term spirit goal. And then for accountability, we have tons of committees, none of which ever meet, none of which are ever asked what they're doing. So creating like actual accountable measures that we can see what committees are taking steps and what individuals are taking steps, as well as like including specific involvement requirements for your grade instead of just saying abstract. If we don't know who your name is, you might get a B in the class. Like, no. If you haven't done something specific, you get a B in the class.
Okay. Well, as you can see, like there aren't a lot of general ed kids here, and I don't think we announced stuff, but I feel like not a lot of people really know like what we do. And so my goal would be to reach out to people that might be in different groups rather than just in HIS.
We'll start with Maya this time. As Vice President, what existing school policy would you like to change, or what new one would you push to implement?
So being involved with formerly Rainbow Coalition, now QSA, we've been really pushing to get more accessible bathrooms and locker rooms on campus for anyone of any gender, like menstrual products in girls' rooms, gender-neutral bathrooms for students who don't identify as either male or female. It's just a matter of accessibility for students. I don't know if a lot of people know, but McClatchy has a huge harassment and bullying problem, a lot of which is stemmed within those of different sexual orientations or gender identities. And if you haven't experienced those kinds of harassments, you don't necessarily know. So I would really like to implement programs of like anti-bullying and creating a new culture and climate in McClatchy where people don't really feel the need to lash out against others, but rather see them as their fellow students and would like to build them up.
I'll go back to Rose.
So I'm sorry, can you just repeat the question?
Yeah. What school policy would you like to change, or new one? Would you like to implement?
So I work well with both Meredith and Daisy, and they both kind of brought up points that I've been wanting to do. So student parking lot is really a big one for me because driving, I have to park far away, and then it makes it harder to get to class on time. So just making it more accessible to get to park closer is something I really want to work on. And then also cleaning up the school. Right now, I'm a part of making cork boards around the school. So we're going to like build them so we have a lot more announcements everywhere. So just kind of cleaning up and just making sure everyone's knowledgeable and knowing what's happening around so that no one's missing out on anything.
So Brooklyn, I'm sorry you always get interrupted, but the bell might ring during your speech, so just power through if it happens.
Okay. Well, something that I would want to implement is maybe a longer passing period, because I know like it takes a long time to get from upstairs to all the way to the D wing, and there are a lot of kids at our school, and walking from the main hallway out there is not always very easy. And I know some people like might have to use the bathroom, and these tardy sweeps are just not okay. But maybe we can meet with the teachers at a shared decision meeting and talk to them, and maybe figure out something else, maybe like a minute and a half longer, or like maybe just no tardy sweeps, because I don't think it's fair to get a detention when you're going to the bathroom and then like be late to class anyway. But yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so now for our last question, let's see, we'll start with Brooklyn and go right to left. How would you improve school culture at McClatchy?
Well, I would bring my positivity, and I would, just by, I think, including more people, I feel like our culture would improve, and by allowing people to share their decisions and maybe have more of a voice than they already do now, would improve our culture at the school. And by just bringing more people into ASB and by giving them like kind of that extra push to like make changes would improve our school. And I know we have a lot of kids in ASB, but not a lot of them do anything. They just kind of show up and go on field trips and show up for days where we get out of class. And I feel like maybe if we, okay, never mind.
Maya.
Okay, so quick story. I was telling my mom about like culture and climate in McClatchy, and she went to Valley High in the 80s, and that's really close to here, but she was just going on and on about how her school rallies were amazing. She was one of the people that peaked in high school. And like school culture there was everything, and it started with the ASB. They put on amazing rallies. They had huge floats during homecoming. Like every game was a Legion game. Like those kinds of things that are really important, where it starts with us and making rallies that don't suck and people don't want to let off smoke bombs during. If we have better rallies, better posters, better events, we can create a school culture and climate where everyone actually cares about the events.
Everybody hold tight for a second and just have one last answer. Rose, go
I'll
ahead.
be quick. So pretty much I said what I have about school culture. Most of it relies on spirit, and I just really want to make that a bigger thing, and just kind of making sure all of the school is accepted, not just his, because that I know we get yelled at a lot for that. So I just would like to make those changes. Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes our debate for today. Make sure you vote.